Good morning, everyone, and here I am. Oh, it's so amazing already to be here. And my daughter, just the room is just beautiful, and she set me up with a coffee machine down here, so I wouldn't have to go upstairs or wait for them to make the coffee. Got my own little water filter thing, and slept like a baby. I woke up much later than I usually wake up. It just, again, just tells me I'm in the right place, right? Yeah, doing the right thing. And oh dear me, it's the guidance from above in a way, right? When you're trying to teach the people out there, alert them to some things and warn them about some things, this and how that guidance just finds its own way, right? Even, okay, what am I going to look at this morning? And came across the story of this lady, this woman, this amazing true woman who persevered through heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking, horrific atrocities done to her by her parents, by the friends of her parents, then by their in-laws. Unbelievable. I mean, it's like I can't. And then her own, on how when she suddenly had children, how she didn't continue that type of abuse with her own children, rather, where again there is this amazing spirit and soul within this body of that woman that was so tortured and abused, and yet that's there, and it was always there, and that is what kept her continuously going. This now, it just, it's a heartbreaking story. It has to break your heart. If it doesn't, I don't know who you are. With a good outcome, right? And yet, one thing she said, there are millions and millions of girls still out there that go through what I went through today, in this day and age. Yes, yeah. And you know, it's not Satan doing it. It's people doing it. Right? And I said, yeah, it's either God or Satan people want to use for this or that, right? Not realizing it's you. It's you. Right? And on how many people didn't notice anything. Right? Nothing. Nothing. Though the signs were there. Okay. Anyway, I had to share the story. I just had to. This woman deserves to be heard because now she's trying to help other girls that are still stuck in that, and or being just, and the sad thing, the way she described her own life story, she didn't know anything different. It was, well, I guess that's how you live. That's how you grow up. That's what's, don't know anything else. Oh my God, I just, men out there can do things like that, and then turn it around somehow to make it the girl's fault, the young woman's fault. Oh my God. Oh, religion's involved too, by the way. As I said, all this stuff comes from somewhere where people suddenly, and sometimes I wonder, how much are we being taught? Or people misunderstand? Because again, who writes this stuff down? Yeah, you can tell I'm a bit, right? Yeah. Yet, the best thing I can do is for this woman's story to be heard. So I shared it. Maybe some independent fact checker's going to come and have something to say about it. All right then. Anyway, ugh, dear me, ugh, this woman's story is going to stick with me all day, probably to the rest of my life. I can't. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And again, this was just... bleh. And then, yeah, the other thing immediately, I have nothing to complain about in my life. I've never had anything to complain about in my life. The few little things that I went through as a child, or this or that, man, that's nothing compared to what this woman went through as a girl. Nothing. So, yeah, if I hear people whine out there about, yeah, I'm probably going to go, yeah, okay, whatever. You had it good. You had it good regardless. Unless she went through what this girl went through. All right, had my say there. All right, we're in Deuteronomy 29. Historical introduction. Moses called all Israel together and said to them, "You have seen everything that Yahweh did before your eyes in Egypt, to Pharaoh, to his servants, and to his whole country." Oh yeah, let's adapt that. That's great. The great ordeals which you yourselves witnessed, those signs and great wonders. But until today Yahweh has not given you a heart to understand, eyes to see, or ears to hear. I have been leading you for 40 years in the desert, yet the clothes which you have been wearing have not worn out, nor have the sandals on your feet. You have had no bread to eat, you have had no wine or fermented liquor to drink, so that you would learn that I, Yahweh, am your God. Okay, wait a minute. So, sounds like first it's kind of, okay, so Moses, it's like a mix of Moses and God talking here. When you reach this place, Sihon king of Heshbon and Og king of Bashan came out to do battle against us. Now it's Moses talking again. We defeated them. We conquered their country and gave it as heritage to Reuben, Gad, and a half-tribe of Manasseh. Keep the words of this covenant, put them into practice, and you will thrive in everything you do. So again, I just told the story about this woman. And again, so the first thing, okay, what's being addressed here? And why is it said in this way? And what does that automatically give people leave to do? Right? Well, God did it. Well, if God did it, then, and those are his directions, then we get to do it. What really, really disturbs me on how much abuse children go through because of religion. Misunderstood religion. Where people just, well, that's what self-righteousness is. Right? Yes? Right there. Anyway, no wonder people turn away from the teachings that then, in a way, lead them to God. If God's being understood like that. Right? Yes? Yeah? Well, anyway, the covenant in Moab. All of you are standing here today in the presence of Yahweh your God. Ugh, I can't. Everything in me just wants to scream right now at this. It's... All of you are standing here today in the presence of Yahweh your God, your tribal leaders, your elders, your scribes, all the men of Israel, with your children and your wives. Oh, looky here. The children and wives are mentioned, and the foreigner too, who is in your camp, be he your woodcutter or your water carrier. Now see here again, this is like, the foreigners always mentioned as well. You treat them right. You treat them right as well. Why? It's God's people. They deserve everything. This and that. Right? Foreigner needs to be what? Killed. Right? That's, heck up butt. Oh. if they're with you and they're being taught by you and they're also following, right, the guidance of God, the Ten Commandments, then no, you don't get to just, right, don't get to do that yet. Well, anyway. I said, I'm jittering from head to toe right now. Just how can people, human beings, do something like that? As happened to this woman, grown woman. How can people do that to a child? No matter what, how can they do that? By the way, she was treated that way because she was born a girl, not a boy. Okay. And you are about to pass into the covenant of Yahweh your God, sworn with an imprecation, which he has made with you today, and by which today he makes you a nation for himself, and he himself becomes a God to you, as he has promised you, and as he swore to your ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not only on your behalf am I today making this covenant and pronouncing this solemn curse. Do not only on behalf of those standing here with us in the presence of Yahweh our God today, not only on behalf of those standing here with us in the presence of Yahweh our God today, but also on behalf of those not here with us today. Oh, I wonder what that means. Yes, you know the people with whom we used to live in Egypt, and those through whose countries we have traveled, the nations through whom we have passed. You have seen their abominations and their idols made of wood and stone, silver, gold, which were there. Let there be no man or woman of you, no clan or tribe, whose heart turns away from Yahweh your God today to go and serve the gods of these nations. So again, here comes, this is again, okay, well, it's not just about you, it's about everybody, right? Even outside of these people. Right? But what does that mean? You've seen, okay, well, we're all these people with their abominations and other idols, what was their life like? Different than from the Israelites? It doesn't say. How did those people live? All one hears is, well, they were not under the guidance of God. But did it make a difference that the Israelites were? I don't know. No idea. But what I hear out of this is, again, everybody is under the guidance of God, regardless if they are or not. God regards everybody as his child. Right? Now it just depends on, okay, how are we putting all that into, again, how do we all apply what was given to us? Right? In what form? What do we still allow out there, per se? Support. You can't, people don't want to change, what are you going to do, right? But we have laws. We have laws. Why are they not applied to absolute monsters and beasts out there? Why not? Because nobody knows about it? And you can't tell me that. Don't believe that. Let there be no man or woman of you, no clan or tribe, whose heart turns away from Yahweh your God today to go and serve the gods of these nations. Among you let there be no root which bears poison or wormwood. If, after hearing this imprecation, anyone blessing himself should say in his heart, I shall do well enough if I follow the dictates of my heart. Much water drives away thirst. Yahweh will not pardon him. The wrath and jealousy of Yahweh will blaze against such a person. Every curse written in this book will fall on him, and Yahweh will blot his name out under heaven. Yahweh will single him out of all the tribes of Israel for misfortune in accordance with all the curses of the covenant written in the book of this law. So, let's go back. So who was cursed? When it comes to this woman and her parents and the friends of these parents, then the in-laws, this, who was cursed in all this? Those people who did these atrocious, horrible things to this girl, growing into a teenager, young womanhood. Well, all right, she was, all right. And then into a young woman, having her own children, just, and still, because of, as I said, how does she get out of this vicious cycle of abuse? Right? Not knowing anything different, right? Yes? With so many people around her, I mean, she did come in contact with people, yeah. Right? So who was cursed? So basically what I'm reading here right now is, no. All the evil people out there, really, who definitely are, man. Doesn't matter what you look like, how good you look like, what you're dressed in, this and that. If people are capable of stuff like this out there to do to their own children, right? That's Satan right there. I would look, if I'd know that, I'd look at them and go, that's Satan right there. That they live just fine. 20 plus years of abuse this woman went through, or more. And these people, there was no curse on them. There was nothing, nothing happened to them. No. Oh, and we're not talking, we're talking civilized countries, highly civilized. This girl grew up in Europe, in England. So what does this mean? I have no idea. What does it mean? Fear mongering? Fear God. Oh, he's going to do this. He's going to do that. That's what's going to happen to you. This, no, it's not. It never has. God doesn't work that way. Not at all. So again, is this to control the people? Well then, how far does one control them? That, for example, in the Catholic Church, I don't know, I bet you it's still going on. Young boys are being sexually abused by priests. How the heck is that possible? Again, nothing. There's nothing to fear from God. Nothing. Because if they did, they really believed what they were preaching on the pulpit in church, these priests who do that, they would never, ever do that. They would never, ever sexually abuse a child. Ever. But they don't. Yeah. We have a problem all around the world when it comes to religion. We do. That's the truth. We do. Always have. Maybe always will. I don't know. I have no idea on how to, except for doing what I'm doing right now. I have no idea. And try to teach. All right, 10 simple rules, the 10 commandments. Can you truly look at them and say, yep, following everything, doing the best that I can, and more. Absolutely will not disappoint God for my own selfish reasons. Not going to happen. Is there anybody out there that can say that? Anybody? I don't know. I have no idea. Can I say that? I'm still working on things. Yes. Right now I'm working on my anger. I'm working on my anger and I want to be vengeful right now. But I have to curb that. But as I say, got to keep, you can't do that. You can't. Here, but the threats that supposedly come from God, well, I haven't seen, maybe at that time, well, even at that time, why do these threats have to be in there? Why can't God just rejoice? Hey, I have a people now, right? They're so happy to be out of Egypt. They're so happy to even go through a little bit of hardship, this, that, because they're free now. And look how harmonious and peaceful they're living together. And while they're traveling through other people's homes, while they're getting to their home, this and that, right? The people that see them are, oh, wow, look at this. Wow, they're living. This is amazing. Right? But it's not like that, is it? And then also said, hey, we want that. We're going to go and find out what that is that they got. That they are this happy, this joyful, right? And they have this light around them. The whole nation. Right? Yes, that's not like that. Is it? It's not like that here. Why not? A threat. Here we go. Next. A threat of exile. The future generation that of your children coming after you, and the foreigner arriving from some faraway land, on seeing the plagues and diseases inflicted on this country by Yahweh, will exclaim, Sulfur, salt, the whole country is burning. No one will sow, nothing grow, no vegetation spring ever again. Devastation like that of Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah, Zeboim, devastated by Yahweh in his furious wrath. And all the nations will exclaim, why has Yahweh treated this country like this? Why this great blaze of anger? Okay, again, there you go. It continues right on. Did any of that happen? No, it didn't. Where is this coming from? And why is it there like that? Again, it doesn't talk about if you just. This has to be distant. Threat of exile. It's the constant threat. It's a constant. How can one grow one's spirit? Oh, my other daughter here just said good morning. How can one's spirit grow when you're in constant fear? Not of God, of the people around you, watching everything you do, trying to find the littlest thing that you're doing wrong, so they can stone you to death, right? Take you to, right? As I said, husbands watching their wives. Yeah, I'm kind of sick and tired of that one. Let me see. How can I get rid of her? Find the littlest thing that you can take her to the Levites, right? The Levite priests. Right? She did this. She did that. Right? Get rid of her. Right? Just like. Don't know. How do you grow as a people like that? I had no idea. Then, when the threats, you do it anyway. Nothing happened. Oh, okay. Oh, and it escalates to do even worse, and worse, and worse, because nothing happens. Because that's not how God works. Sadly, it seems like every time it goes worse for good people. Good people pay the price. Good people have to take your children who can't defend themselves, have to take the abuse, escalated abuse, more and more and more and more people support certain things because, again, that Prince Charming, yeah, it's out there, manipulates, gets this idea, but everybody deserves love. Everybody, and so you need to accept all these abnormalities. Everybody deserves, right, to be included, no matter what that inclusion could, and that's where, no matter what this inclusion could entail, once there's enough going on, then you suddenly can't stop it. And then suddenly, more and more children are being put under the knife, are being thrown to the wolves. Well, it had to be, it's a 10-year-old girl, it had to be, she knows, she should know, so it had to be consent. Come on now, right? Grown men, they don't really have any kind of control over their, you know what I mean? So it had to be the girl. Yes. So, well, let's just make a law where that's just legal now. Yeah. You see? Where does it end? Yeah. Where does it end? Let me ask you this. Where does it end? Yeah. I don't know. No idea. I don't know. All I can do is just read the Bible here and go, well, okay, what did they do already at that time? Was it God? Was it really God? God who was angry? No, it's the people. The people. People find their own ways of doing what? And people will say, because they deserted the covenant of Yahweh, God of their ancestors, the covenant which he made with them when he brought them out of Egypt, because they went and served other gods and worshipped them, gods hitherto unknown to them, gods that were not part of their heritage from him. This is why Yahweh's anger has blazed against his country, afflicting it with all the curses written in this book. In anger, in fury, in fierce wrath, Yahweh has torn them from their own country and flung them into another country where they are today. Things hidden belong to Yahweh our God, but things revealed are ours and our children's forever, so that we can put all the words of this law into practice. Interesting. Things hidden belong to Yahweh our God. Good morning. Neighbors up. Friendly people here. The God I know, the true God I know, is always there to lend a helping hand when one walks in the proper direction. The one true God that I know will never take our freedom of will away. It's there and it's there to stay. And it really is up to us, the people of the world, mankind. What did Jesus say? I'm the Son of Man. You're the Son of God. No, I'm the Son of Man. Yeah, how can that be understood? Oh, we'll get to that later. We become, when we truly understand the one true God and his love for the whole world and what has been, what he created, within it, above it, beyond it, we become and then try to teach, again, as I said, with our fists. Yes, that's something else Jesus taught us. Here goes his disciple, and you're not taking. My master cuts off the ear of a soldier, as the story goes. And Jesus says, oh, no, 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 no. Puts the ear back on, miraculously. I don't know. We try to keep teaching people aware of, and then this story, this horrific story, life story of this young woman needs to be shared. People need to be aware. Also that you can go out and just be aware. There is enough people out there who their programs is where people like that can be, children can be removed. Parents like that put in jail. We have laws protecting children like that. And we have laws to put evil people like that behind bars for the rest of their lives. The rest of their lives. We don't need to cut them down. We don't need to. And then hopefully the programs are well enough for evil people like that, where they are being taught. Yes, but that system's kind of, okay, I'm not going to go there. But we become true sons and true daughters and emulate the one true loving God. And to try to teach for people out there who, I don't know how confused you can be as a parent to do that to your own child, but The free will, again, to choose is out there. And to activate that free will in the right direction. Right? Yes? So, well, anyway. Oh, what a disturbance. Oh, difficult for me to even make this video this morning. But I said, I'm a human being too. With a big range of emotions, right? Yes? Yeah. But the most amazing thing is on how this woman now is helping out there, trying to alert people that if you see this or that, that there's something wrong, and the child needs to be removed immediately, and the parents need to be prosecuted. The friends of these parents who are involved need to be prosecuted. You need to listen to the story of the child as well, and you believe the child. Done. The one thing, again, too, just reading through that again, that's the Old Testament, right? The Bible. Old Testament, that's that. So that's a religion. Then there's all these other religions out there, right? On how religion is used. Yes? For what? It's very sad. Sometimes I wonder, it was in the Second World War, the same thing, yes? If, I guess every war was kind of like that. I must assume, I don't know why people go to war, I have no idea. But religion seems to always play a big part in it. In everything, it seems like. Religion plays a big part. Oh, and the betterment of people? Nope. The other way around. Isn't that amazing? Yes, told you. Satan has a completely different form than people think out there. Sneaks. Evil sneaks its way into your life, and due to the excuses made, Ten Commandments not followed, because who needs them? We're guilty. We have blood guilt on our hands for one reason or another. Well, not doing it ourselves, just watching, not paying attention. Not my problem. I lived a good life. I believe. I'm a Christian. I believe. I'm being good out there. Yes. Yet. I'm gonna end with this after loud noise, right? It's loud noise out there right now, and that's kind of what it is. All these loud noises. We don't too confused. We don't know anymore to distinguish the cry for help from a child from I don't know, someone who wants their rights or whatever. So to finish this video up, see, the noise didn't make a difference. Right back to where I wanted to finish it. Could have confused me. Forgot. What was it? No, didn't forget. That millions and millions of children, billions, I don't know, of children are horrifically abused in this world by mankind, as if they are not part of mankind. deserve to be treated that way. I'm not getting that. I will never get that. And knowing that right at this moment so many children out there are suffering under that type of abuse is how can anyone just go on with their day? Their complaints. I don't know what. If stuff like that's happening all around the world. No child deserves that. There's not a child out there who deserves that. We should start acting more like they don't deserve that. Well, anyway, we'll see. Got to keep doing what I'm doing, right? Yes. Okay, all right. I got it. I just have my heart's breaking. Just got to send those angels out. Yeah, yes. And she said as well. She said, I felt that I had angels around me helping me through impossible things that she could actually do in the condition she was in. But she did. Amazing. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have to share this morning. God's love, blessings always may He protect you, and I will talk to you all another time.